Welcome to the TALKESHI podcast, episode number 40. I've tried to record this various times because I am very nervous. Pero first of all, quiero decir que thanks to y'all he llegado a los 40 episodes porque siempre tengo like buen feedback en general, and I really appreciate it. So thank you. I'm very excited to be here, and I'm very excited that you're here y que vamos a hablar de un tema like bastante fuerte. I'm genuinely scared to share these opinions, pero because it's a very heavy topic. It's not like I'm gonna be talking about something fun or something whatever. Como que this is a pretty serious topic, so I'm of course putting a trigger warning just in general for this episode because it is about body issues and something I want to call hyper body awareness, pretty much. Que como que just being so aware of your body in every aspect. In like losing weight, gaining weight, just how it looks in general, which is a heavy subject, so trigger warning for that. But I do want to say that I'm just kind of excited to keep on making content, dude. I don't know, like I feel like I'm on a bit of a momentum high right now. I don't know, like with making content, so I'm very happy, and I'm very happy that y'all have liked the content. I hope y'all liked my last video. The reels for it on Instagram got a lot of interaction, so I'm very happy. But yeah, let's get into this topic. The first time you guys see me with a computer, right? That's for a reason. Because it's a lot. And honestamente, yo iba a hacer este episodio a principios de verano. It wasn't going to be an episode. It was going to be a video. Like, I wanted to sit down and like edit it really nicely and whatnot. I had a really nice makeup idea to go with it, but oh well. But I decided to make it an episode, and it's taken so long because I really wanted to sit down and get my facts straight, get my opinions straight. I had a lot of contradictory information y opiniones también como que. So, you know, I would say that this is still pretty raw. My information is still pretty raw. So, like, what I mean by that is that it's not like, I don't know, I'm just giving my opinions right now. Those things can change después or whatever. So, of course, lots of feedback is appreciated, como que however you feel about these topics, which I have controversial opinions about the surgeries. Don't worry, like, I'm never going to be on the side of fat phobia or being like, I have a controversial statement and just, like, a fat phobic statement. No. But, like, still, I am kind of scared and nervous to share this information or like my opinions with y'all. So bear with me y understand that, you know, like, we'll see where this takes us. I want to start with a very bold statement. Y ese es que Puerto Rico odia a la gente gorda. They really do. And esta sociedad, like, just in general, right? Like, society in general hates fat people. Pero en Puerto Rico, which is where I live, ¿verdad? So, like, of course, I come in contact with this con la gente que conozco. Le hay un repudio a la gente gorda just because. Y les voy a contar una anécdota que might be un poquito fuerte. Que you know, I know someone, no voy a decir quién es, pero, like, cuando esta persona era chiquita, como que le dijeron a su mamá como que, ay, tu hija parece un Cabbage Patch porque tiene los cachetes bien gordos. And I think cachetes gordos on, like, babies are so cute. What the fuck? So esta persona decidió, like, ir después toda su vida como que básicamente tratando de nutrir a su hija como que de una forma que no engorden. Como que hyper focusing on that. And I think eso dice mucho de nuestra sociedad. Our society. But it does though, porque aquí como que tú no me digas a mí que un familiar no te ha dicho como que si no te ha visto en bastante tiempo, ha rebajado, ha engordado de forma despectiva. Like, I think a lot of us have come in contact with that. I know que a mí me han tratado diferente cuando yo rebajo a cuando engordo. You know, it's as a person that fluctuates kind of, but it's still conventional for the most part, ¿verdad? Como que I think someone that has a really good video on this is actually T Noir. T Noir es una persona, ¿verdad? I would say conventional, like they're slim, pero they really make a good point as to like fat phobia and recognizing that it is real and that skinny shaming is also real, pero que the real problem is fat phobia. Like, society wants you to be skinny. Society wants to thrive off your insecurity of gaining weight to make money. I think that's a whole topic that we might get into soon. Pero, like, you know, pero no quiero invalidar a like, all your insecurities and the way you feel about your body is real. But if you're a conventional person, life can be a little easier for you. And it can, se te puede hacer hasta difícil ver como que, damn, like, society really doesn't want us to be fat. Especialmente, like, mira, si tú eres una persona flaca and you've been skinny shamed, which is real, I do agree with the fact that it is real, como que mucha gente, I know a lot of people que le han dicho como que engorda, like, qué sé yo, like, like, you know, those stupid comments, because they are stupid, because it's like, I am of the opinion que if you have an opinion on someone else's body, that's just weird. You're a fucking weirdo. Like, te invito a pensar dos cosas. Like, one, don't vocalize it. No se lo diga a esa persona because that can stay with them for a long time. And second, think about why you have an opinion about the way someone else gains or loses or fluctuates or tones or whatever, like the shape of their body. Really sit down and think, why does that bother you, or why you have to have a strong opinion on it. Just, I invite you to do that. Let me look at my computer because, like I said, it's a lot. It's a lot of opinions that I have that, like, I just want to share with y'all. I think people also see health, especialmente gaining weight. I think people relate gaining weight to being unhealthy when, of course, that's not 100% true all the time, ¿verdad? People gain weight or are fat just because of, like, many aspects. Como que there's genetics, of course. There might be certain food aspects to it, but it's like people take it to, like, such a moral standpoint. Como que people really try to make the point that, like, fat people are bad almost. Y yo digo como que, first of all, from, like, a health standpoint, right? They're like, oh, fat people are unhealthy. Cuando esta gente se mete un Red Bull a las 9 de la mañana, that's not healthy. Most of the people que comenta sobre, like, why fat people are bad, or, you know, all those kinds of comments, are not healthy themselves. They're trying to project into fat people. And let me tell you this, te invito a que te haga una pregunta, like, do you care about fat people's health, or do you care about how they look? Like, ¿te importa de verdad que esa persona coma bien y saludable? If the answer is yes, okay, but what if they can't change that, though? What if they completely change their habits and they are still fat? Which can be something that happens, by the way. Why would it bother you if they still look a certain way? ¿Me entiende? Everyone's body, and that is something that I want to say also, that, like, everybody, para mí, like, en lo más básico, is valid. Everybody is valid. Que everybody sea beautiful, well, we'll touch on body neutrality soon, pero all bodies are valid. And fat phobia, like, seeps into también not just people attacking fat people. It also forms kind of like a kind of internal fat phobia where, like, maybe you're conventional like me, but you hate that you have, like, a big belly or una papa or, like, things like that. And it's like, dude, who fucking cares? And not just that, pero yeah, like, most people are conventional. Yo odié ese trend de como que bodies that look like this also look like this, and it's just like bitches trying to force out a gut. Like, dude, you're conventional. I hate, especially cuando este tipo de persona como que dice, like, oh, like, I'm so fat and ugly, like, you're relating fat to being ugly, when that's just subjective to you, bitch. I don't know. But those opinions are weird, and those, you know, it, like I'm saying, como que it affects certain features, because a lot of people, like me, like, look, okay, YouTube don't demonetize me, but I've always had this belly, and I know that this belly makes me not, like, okay, I'm just not gonna even try, though. I know this belly makes me not look like Instagram bitches or Instagram models. Even right now, I'm kind of trying to hide it when I really shouldn't. Look, I have this, okay? Like, I call it a keg, but it's, like, it's so big here. Especially this part here makes me insecure. Pero, I don't know, like, I guess I'll be talking about self-love later and how, like, I've grown the confidence to, like, not give a fuck about it that much, so it doesn't affect my mental health. And it's just, I don't know, man. Like, I recognize my privilege in that because I am, for the most part, conventional. But there are some, like, I know a body like mine no va a parecer también. Like, like, that's the disheartening part that, like, that skinniness is seen as, like, the standard of beauty because que ciertos fotógrafos no te van a retratar because no tienen un cuerpo así or, like, cosas así. It's kind of disheartening to have those kinds of features in society, So speaking of these features, I want to talk a bit about plastic surgery. Kind of scared. But how do I feel about plastic surgery? I want to say, you can do whatever the fuck you want with your body. I genuinely don't care. Tú puedes hacer lo que te da la gana. That's fine. Como que yo no soy madre de quien para decirte qué carajo hacer with your body, I can, however, criticize the reasons that you're getting those surgeries, which we will in a bit. Let's start off with this topic, getting BBLs for a trend. Let's talk about, like, I feel like this is something that not enough people bring up, maybe, but the racist part about getting BBLs. By that I mean that, like, before, the body standard was like Kate Moss, right? Like, Kate Moss was, like, skinny, y que sé yo, that in itself is, like, people that didn't look like her weren't allowed a lot of opportunities because of fat phobia, basically, right? Now the standard of beauty is getting a BBL, is having a big butt, because Kim Kardashian took it upon herself. The Kardashians, that clan, it took it upon themselves to make that the beauty standard. I know that they say, like, oh, it's not our fault, whatever, but, like, society pretty much took that as, like, okay, like, you have to look like a Kardashian Jenner, ¿me entiendes? Changing your body for a trend, kind of fucked up, especially when you're just, like, a white woman trying to look like a black woman. That's kind of, I don't know why I didn't mention that already, but, like, that's the racist part of this, that, like, before, people would, like, black women would get criticized because of their big butts. I don't know why I'm doing this, because they did have big butts. And now that's, like, the standard of beauty, and it's, like, everyone wants to look like that. ¿Me entiende? Like, after years of criticizing and hating on black women for their beautiful bodies, by the way, now everyone wants to look like that because of the freaking Kardashian Jenners. And not just that, but it's like, I can't blame you. And I saw this on a TikTok, right? That's how everyone gets their information nowadays. I saw this on a TikTok and I couldn't help but relate. And it was like, I can't really blame you for wanting to make your place in the patriarchy easier. And that holds a lot of truth to it. Like, when you, cuando te opera to, like, get bigger tits, or to make your lips look bigger, or to, just pretty much apply to, like, what beauty is in society nowadays, I can't blame you for wanting that, because it's hard to have features that people don't deem as nice, like my keg, or, like, I don't know, I guess my broad shoulders. Even, I'm pretty sure I go to LA right now and a lot of bitches would sit down and be like, I would give you some lip filler, some, like, like a BBL, that, and that's the thing, bro. Like, have y'all seen Love Island? And you just can't. I hate to sound like a boomer, because I'm about to sound like a boomer, but nadie se quiere como nace, and that is sad. Like, I believe that, like, everyone, I don't know, maybe I'm just stupid for thinking this, but I genuinely do believe that not just the fact that everybody is valid, everybody is also beautiful, and everyone is so unique. Like, everyone looks different. I think that should be appreciated. Even the features that society deems ugly, like crooked nose, fat bellies, like hyperpigmentation, even, like, those things are beautiful in its own way, bro. Like, just because you don't like it, or like, you have ingrained that these features are ugly. Small butts are hated now. Just because of that doesn't mean that, like, you're ugly. You're just not conventional, and that's fine to not be conventional. When I say conventional, is that you aren't pretty much in, like, the standards of today's society, what they deem as beautiful. And going against that is really powerful in itself. I'll talk about that in a bit. But yeah, and, like, if you, dude, like, getting surgery, I know a lot of people say, like, oh, I'm doing this for myself or whatever. But it, like, I'm pretty sure these like doctors and shit would lose money. These surgeons, these trainers, people that sell you like these weight loss products or whatever, all of them would, let me just say straight up that these industries thrive off your insecurities. And yeah, let me just say that because it's the truth. And these companies wouldn't exist if you didn't feel insecure about your weight or the way you looked. Right? Let me just say that. And they would definitely lose money if they were like legally or some other way obligated to tell you that you are beautiful the way you are and that maybe you don't need these, and kind of almost try to force you not to get these surgeries. Because I think no one needs it. I don't think anyone needs these surgeries just because, like, if you're being told that you do, like, all my life I was told, like, oh, you're just fine, you just need to lose some belly weight. Like, what kind of opinion is that? No, I don't. And if you think that, like, getting the BBL, getting the boob job is going to make you more attractive, or like I said, like, is gonna make your space, your place in the patriarchy easier, like, that's a myth. Maybe it does, because maybe now boys will look at you more and stuff, and we'll get to boy validation soon. But dude, like, these are not solutions to self-care. To self-love. These are not solutions to that. I also want to say that BBLs are the deadliest surgery that you can get. That is fact. Like, most of the women that get these, like, die, especially because of the accessibility of it nowadays. Like, a lot of people are getting these at low cost because people are doing these kind of like basement type of like surgeries, and it's not good. People are just like, oh yeah, thank God, like, I can get this pretty much botched surgery for almost for free, technically, like $1,000 or something. And it's like, it's fucked up. It's very fucked up. And that's why I'm not on the side of surgeries, pretty much. I also want to say something, because if you're someone that just has an insecurity and you want to get a surgery for something, I want to say that my biggest insecurity hasn't even been the gut. It's been the fact that I don't have a fat dump truck ass. I know that sounds funny, and I know it's even funnier now to just be like, oh, thick or slim thick, because that is the standard of beauty now, you know, like slim thick, having a huge ass and stuff. But like, ever since I was 14 or 13, it's been an insecurity of mine because of beauty standards. I am like the prime candidate for that, and I'm just gonna say that. I say that because of this. Look, when I was a little kid, I remember my mom saying that, like, a los gringos blanco, a los americanos, a ellos les gustan las tetas, y a nosotros, los boricuas, nos gustan los culos. Or, she was speaking in terms of, like, men, like, that's what they liked and stuff. And I remember I used to be like, what? Then, like, I don't have a huge ass. And then that, started low-key it wasn't becoming a trend, like, in the early 2010s. But, men do like that. Boys, let me say boys, because I'm talking about teenage boys. Like, dude, I know que mucha gente siempre dice, like, oh, girls were always in competition with each other. Girls would always make me feel shitty. And if that's your experience, I'm so sorry. But to me, it was the boys. I don't know if it was because I would hang out with boys a lot or whatever, but boys would make me feel shitty about my body. Especially, like, I was going to say ex, but nothing before high school is an ex. Just saying. Especially this one boy that would just make me feel so bad because I didn't look like las pentecostales que tenían culo gigante detrás de su falda. No le estoy tirando a ella, like, y'all have beautiful bodies, pero, like, that was something that he would say. So, right, like, that, dude, that caused a huge insecurity in me. And it's it's crazy because, first off, my best friends are like thick as fuck. And, like, am I jealous of them? I guess I could say that, but I think people conflate jealousy with, like, evilness. And, like, I don't hate my friends. That would be ridiculous. Shout out to Nikki, Natalia, and Marilyn for being the baddest bitches. Like, have I felt insecure? Yeah, of course, it's been normal. But let me say something about being a bad bitch. God. No, but let me say something about boy validation. I'm gonna get into a little rough topic here, which is I'm gonna say something. Men will fuck anything. And that isn't a diss to women just being like anything, right? I'm not saying that like men will fuck anything. Like, look at that bitch, she's so ugly. Men, a la hora de acostarse con alguien o tirarse a alguien or whatever, they don't give a fuck if you reach the standards of beauty or not. And I say this because it is kind of like a double-sided sword. It is good that they don't care about that. It is bad when they make someone feel bad for not reaching those standards, but would be with you anyways. I just remember growing up and thinking like, wow, like these men want like blonde, blue-eyed beauties. And it was almost like internalized racism kind of, because none of these men were blonde or blue-eyed or for the most part white. So one, not feeling like I reached that standard, I would feel shitty, right? And it was an insecurity that would follow me the rest of my life pretty much. And then like to see them kind of like change actually, and good for them that they kind of outgrew, because they were young, they probably had these impressions of like porn and all these things that gave them the wrong ideas of how women should look like and act. For them to outgrow that and be with women that didn't go with the standard of beauty is great. It means that they grew. But then like, you know, there are still men that think that way and that still attack women for not being like that. And it's like, dude, a la hora de verdad, tú te vas a tirar a cualquiera, tú te vas a tirar a cualquier, like, it doesn't really matter. I say double-sided because it does suck that men shit on you for not following the standard of beauty, but would still sleep with you anyway. However, it is nice to know that like the one that will truly love you and a partner that will truly respect you and love you will be with you anyway, whether or not you reach those standards of beauty or not. Like, I've known what it is to love someone no matter what they look like, and that is true love. Like that, at the end of the day, that's not gonna matter. And also at the end of the day, like, if you seek male validation, that's not real validation. Like I said, like, these guys don't give a shit a la hora de la verdad. They only say that to like look cool. They're like, oh, that's the baddest bitch because you need to shut the fuck up. Like, you are the baddest bitch. When you go somewhere and you feel confident and beautiful and powerful, you are the baddest bitch. You really shouldn't give a fuck about what these men say, because their opinion doesn't matter at the end of the day. So our next segment is toxic diet and exercise culture and their relationship to food, because I think these two affect our hyper body awareness a lot. Of course, like, a lot of us estamos pendiente a how food affects the way we look, of course, and I think that can be healthy, but that can also be extremely detrimental. And I want to attack, yes, I'm calling it an attack. No, I'm not. I'm not for legal purposes. But I want to touch on, especially this diet and exercise culture que está pasando en Instagram, especialmente con like una marca en específico, un MLM, porque es un MLM, that is promoting this like, oh, like estos productos y este estilo de vida y qué sé yo, like es para mejorarte y qué sé yo. But it's like, first of all, it's an MLM, which is what? And second of all, como que the fat phobia in this is rampant. Like, these people don't really care about health. Sure, they care about fitness, and I'm pretty sure a lot of their fitness like routines y qué sé yo work a lot and very well. Pero they focus a lot on like losing weight. They focus a lot on like, don't eat processed foods or sugars or whatever because they'll make you gain weight. Like, that mentality, that mindset is like outdated and not very healthy. I would recommend, of course, like, I want to shout out, I think I already did, but Cuerpos Gordes. I think they promote a really healthy, you know, type of like image of like what it is to be fat pretty much. And just like, dude, I love them. I just wanted to say that I love them. And I want to specifically now with this topic mention a bilingual dietitian. Bien cool. I think they're extreme. Like, she really does like promote a really healthy, you know, HAES, I think HAES, which is health at every size. Like, I think they promote that a lot, and I really love that about her page. I would recommend those more than I would recommend you follow any IG model, IG fitness person. Like, it's ridiculous how these people try to, it's really just to sell you these products, right? And you don't even know what, like, those people don't even know what's in those products. You have too many not real health practitioners, like people that are just like pass down this information and that's it. Like you have too many people promoting these lifestyles, and that's not healthy. And also to be told that certain foods are bad, I that's a whole other conversation. One time I was told by someone, and I think this is really, really good advice. Because I was about to take like magnesium, I was gonna be like, oh, I've heard that magnesium is kind of like a cure-all, like I'm gonna just take it to like feel better, just in general, whatever. And this person told me, no, I would recommend you go get yourself checked to see, like your blood sugar levels and all that stuff, just to see like what can affect you or what cannot. Like what does your doctor say, or what does an expert tell you? Don't just be like, oh, this is those things, those appetite suppressants. What is that? Appetite is there for a reason. If you're hungry, eat. Like I'll get to that in a bit, but I just think that those people focus too much on like, I don't know, on the wrong things, and it's kind of like an unhealthy way of like promoting the healthy lifestyle of exercising and eating correctly, which is something that everyone should do, right? I love exercise, dude. I wish I was like more into exercise. I wish I had more time. I wish I could make more time, I guess. Because exercise is fun and healthy more than everything. I feel way better. Like I have less back pain and stuff like that when I consistently exercise. And it's great for your body, obviously. Like I'm never going to be against exercise. I am going to like judge people that judge people if you don't do exercise though. So yeah, I wrote here like que rico comer y dejar comer. And I think that's a great segue into this little small next portion, which is like talking about portions. Food. I do have a little opinion on food that is like, food is for two things. One, it's para nutrirte. And I'm not like an expert on intuitive eating or anything, but I do believe it's a good thing, like to really notice what makes you feel good and what makes you feel bad, what makes you feel sick, what makes you feel full, what makes you feel, like if there's something that you're eating that you really like, but it's making you feel like shit, then it's probably time to experiment with other foods. I love like how, for example, like vegan people, I love all kinds of like types of eating also, like keto, paleo, all these kinds of things, not diets. I don't believe in diets. I believe in like changing, I know it sounds kind of weird, but like changing your lifestyle, like changing what you eat to like try to eat better. That's literally my philosophy with food. Just try to eat things that make you feel good in, the physical aspect and then the emotional aspect, which I'll get to. But yeah, seeing people experiment with like foods and stuff, like I love that, bro. No matter, and like the thing is that you can't focus on like nutritional doesn't mean that you're not gonna gain weight. Like if you eat something healthy and it makes you gain weight, like so that's what I'm trying to make people understand, to like let go of that, right? So food is nutritional, and it's also for enjoyment. Like that's why people become chefs. That's why, like, if you only focused on, I like things that have like sugar free and whatever, but like if you want to eat a whole ass cake and you don't do it because it has too much sugar or whatever, like what is that? Like food is also to enjoy it. If it makes you feel bad after, well, that's something you have to notice, right? But like don't worry about the weight gain or weight loss aspect of it, is what I mean. Now I want us to talk about like pretty much the last segment of this episode, and it is body image. And there are two topics specifically that I want to discuss: radical self-love and body neutrality. So radical self-love comes from a book called The Body Is Not an Apology by Sonia Renee Taylor. And I haven't read this book, but I have read one of the most important parts of it, which is where she talks about radical self-love. And that is where you just kind of love your body no matter like what society, this is my own definition of it, but she talks about this, right? Like caring about it no matter what society thinks about it, taking care of it a lot because your body is very important, obviously. Now there is another thing called body neutrality. I've seen it a lot on like people's like stories and stuff. And it's talking about like, body neutrality is kind of more like, because there is a toxic body positivity where like I get that concept because it's kind of like you're being forced to love your body. I don't believe in that either. I think that you kind of just have to take a step back and realize like your body is valid. It is okay to have the body that you have. It is okay to look the way you do. I think that is important. And also to recognize that you are more than your body. Like your body exists, but you are more than that. You can give more than that. I think that is important. I think body neutrality is like a good base to have on your self-love journey, pretty much. However, a point that was made is that when something is neutral, you are indifferent to it, and you can't be indifferent to your body. You gotta love your body, and that doesn't mean loving the way it looks. It means taking good care of it, right? And it's just like, I do believe that everyone should love their body no matter how they look. I truly believe that. Now, I want to say something a little personal. This is kind of the reason that I didn't want to, that this episode took so long, actually, and it's that I've had a hard time recognizing my own. Everyone has biases, right? And that's the thing. I think you have to recognize that you have a bias. And there are a lot of kinds of biases, racial biases, sexist biases. Everyone has them. And I think addressing them is very important. I think specifically, us conventional people, especially skinny people, should really question. I think, I'm sorry, it does bother me when like skinny people make fat phobic jokes, especially when they proclaim to be like so woke and stuff, but of course in my case, it's like I've had a hard time recognizing that something that I would like is to lose weight. I think admitting that to yourself is important. It does feel almost like you lose it, right? Like, cause like I felt hypocritical talking about self-love and like, look at my body and the way that it is, feeling this way. But I think it's okay to feel this way. It is hard because it's like, this goes against my values pretty much, that I believe everyone's body is beautiful except mine. But I think that's also very common, and I think feeling that way is very normal. But I think it's just part of life. It's human nature to have some values and kind of also feel like you're going against them in a way. But it's okay. Like insecurities like that, you just kind of have to treat them like your very messy housemate. Like in a way of like, they are with you there, but you have to like, and if they're there, okay. Like everyone can feel insecure. It's okay to feel insecure. It's not okay, however, to kind of let them consume you. You kind of just have to like let them know that they should take out the trash, and let them know that they can't leave the toilet seat up. Like kind of be like, live with them and coexist with them and realize that you are still worth it. I hate to make this sound like a Gary Vee kind of fake toxic positivity message kind of thing, but like it is the truth. And I think to end this episode, I think it's just so important to love yourself. I know that like maybe might have not been clear throughout this whole episode, but it is so nice to celebrate yourself. It is so nice to like feel confident in yourself. And once you realize like, bro, I am beautiful. Once you break from that body neutrality and you move up to radical self-love and you celebrate yourself, bro, it is so, like I have genuinely, it is something very personal as well. Like I can sit here and tell you all the reasons why you shouldn't do things or why fat phobia exists or whatever. But the fact of the matter is that you have to sit down with yourself and really work on your own self-confidence. I can't just tell you how to reach that. That's something you have to do by like recognizing what society wants from you and kind of rechazar eso. That is so strong. That is one of the strongest things you could do. And that has also led me to be like, you know what? Like I could literally walk into a room full of Victoria's Secret models and still feel beautiful because I am on my way to the Savage Fenty show where I am actually appreciated. No, but like it has led me to really feel confident no matter the situation. And it's helped me so much with my own confidence within myself. Like even, my own self-esteem and feeling good in like a room. Like I don't feel like a pendeja anymore. I don't feel self-conscious about who I am anymore, especially because I've formed that kind of like confidence within myself. I think it's important. And I just want to kind of end with a quote that I kind of wrote here that says, we would feel better if we proved that self-acceptance, self-love, and confidence in yourself and what you have to bring, like, because your body is one thing. And once you, like, go beyond that and be like, you know what, my body is just fine as it is, you can really bring stuff to the table, like real body acceptance and peace comes from you. Fighting against what the world wants from you is, like I said, the strongest thing. So like I hope everyone recognizes that today, and I hope you feel like you can reach that. If you haven't reached it already, you can definitely love yourself and find people that appreciate your body just the way it is, and I just want you to like just say like fuck you to all these campaigns that are all about like losing weight and changing your body and all this stuff that you don't really need, because there's so much other stuff to focus on in this world. Thank you for watching this episode. I hope you liked it. I hope that we can like, if you disagreed with a point, like leave it down below. I'd love to like hear it, at the very least hear it out, and discuss it with you maybe. Thank you so much for listening to, like I wrote on Twitter, like, would y'all be okay with like a really long episode? And y'all said yes, so here it is. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for sticking out this long, and I will see you in the next episode, which I don't know which one it will be, but I'm very excited to keep on making more content. So thank you, and I'll see you in the next one.